Hey friends, welcome. It is the second Wednesday of the month. It's 7:30 EST, so you know it is time for only one thing, and that is tonight's edition of Happy Healthy Half Hour with yours truly. And you know, if you've joined me before, oftentimes I'll welcome a guest. But tonight, you got just me, and we're talking about something pretty darn important, and that is how to have a happier, healthier holiday. And I think what I'm going to share with you might be contrary to what you think a health coach may say, because let me tell you this, it's definitely not going to involve like not eating cookies or not having eggnog or any of that kind of stuff, right? We're actually going to be talking about different stressors that you guys have shared and that different friends have shared and different people have shared and that I've experienced myself. We're going to talk about how to work through those in a different way. And what was really interesting to me is that I saw a really intriguing theme that popped up amongst these stressors that you guys have shared with me. And as always, I want to invite you guys, if you're catching this now live on the replay, like go ahead and post any questions, comments, what have you, right down below or wherever the comments are landing for you when you're watching this video and however you're watching this video. You know what I mean. I love interacting with y'all. So let's get started here. It's holiday time, and I had a really great conversation. I have a really beautiful yogi that joins me almost every Wednesday afternoon, and we often find ourselves just talking about like life stuff, and it's really fascinating. So we are sharing a little bit about today and this happy healthy half hour, and I was asking her just kind of insight and opinion, and something that she had said that I thought was super powerful is that for some reason, this time of year, it's like Halloween happens all the way through New Year's. It's like this time of the year, we see it as so special that we try to cram in all of the things, right? Like we're reaching out and like, hey girl, do you want to get together? Like I'm having a holiday get together. I want to get everybody together. And I think too, because we weren't really able to do that last year, I think this year it's like at a different level. I know today I received multiple invites and I flipping love them because I have the most amazing people in my life. But invites and like trying to figure out dates and coordinate dates for different holiday gets-togethers and parties and all of that. And while I love them and I am flattered, what I love that my yogi friend brought to my attention is that truly this time of the year is really no special than any other time of the year, right? We perceive it to be such, but getting together with a dear friend right now, like sometime in November and December versus January or February, it's all just really awesome, right? So as we find ourselves maybe trying to cram too much into this 2 month period, it's just something to keep in mind. Like you definitely don't have to say yes to every invitation. You definitely don't have to plan 50 million things. It's all good. And we're going to kind of like tie that back in a little bit after I share some more stuff with you guys. So let's get to like the quick and dirty food stuff and drink stuff really quick, because I know this is something that a lot of people really get stressed out about around the holidays. And I want to tell you, I was one of those people. I was one of those people probably like as recently as like 3 years ago where, you know, the holidays would come. And I'm somebody that has a lot of, like, I have gluten and dairy sensitivities, right? So I just have to watch those things. And, you know, and I had like a not great relationship with food really up until like 2 years ago, if that. Really, really in the last year, we'll say, right? That I really made a ton of progress on that. But, you know, so holidays would come along and there's cookies and there's cakes and there's food and there's things that we're not supposed to eat because we decided somewhere in our mind or media has told us somewhere that these things aren't good. These are treats. You can't have cookies all the time. You can't do all this kind of stuff. Don't drink the eggnog. Don't drink that whole bottle of wine. Well, you know, you get everything in moderation, right? But if you want to drink the whole bottle of wine and that works for you, by all means, drink the whole bottle of wine. But my point being is that as we get into these holidays and we choose together with the people that we choose with, all of these foods, the foods that we're making to take with us, the foods that we're hoping to nourish other people with, the cookies, the deliciousness, the turkeys, the tofurkeys, all of those things. These things are made with love and they are meant to be enjoyed and shared. So if you choose to have something, I really want you to hear and be empowered to just freaking enjoy it. It does not make sense. And I feel like I can say this really confidently right now, especially when we're in like that kind of clear headspace and we're like, oh yeah, you want to know what? That just doesn't make sense. Here's what doesn't make sense, y'all. You see the cookie, and I'm using cookies because like holiday cookies are everywhere, right? They're like my favorite. I love Christmas cookies. So feel free, if I know you, I will take them from you. I will eat them. They're delicious. But anyways, so let's say that we're at a holiday gathering, or maybe we're making some cookies, we're at one of those cookie parties that people like to have, right? And we see the cookies, we smell the cookies, we're like, oh my gosh, I just want that cookie so bad, but I can't have it because I'm on a diet, or I can't, or blah, 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 whatever. Can't have that many calories, can't have that fat. It does not make sense to torture yourself in that way. It just doesn't. If you want the cookie, eat the damn cookie. And guess what? When you eat the damn cookie, savor that cookie. Like, really enjoy it. Don't just like wolf it down. Take a bite, chew it, just like enjoy it. I know for me, I like to have a cookie with like a nice cup of coffee and just like dip the cookie in, like really savor that. If you're going to choose to have something, enjoy it. Don't torture yourself. Totally pointless to do that. It's almost like at times, let me know if you feel this, like throw a comment below or like a little heart or whatever. It's almost at times, and I feel like especially around the holidays, it's like we get super hyper focused on figuring out ways to convince ourselves that we're like shitty people, or that we don't have willpower, or that we suck as a human, or all these different things. It's like we really look for ways to reinforce what the false narrative is that we've written for ourselves. I think that's how I want to say it, right? Let's change this. Let's make this holiday different, y'all, because life is just too short. And let's kick off into this 2022. I had to think for a second to make sure that was right. I questioned myself for a second, but let's kick off 2022, not in a way that's like, let me get my diet on, let me lose my weight. Let's kick off 2022 and go into that these next 2 months, really focusing in on listening to our bodies and enjoying the things that we love and becoming freaking like hardcore unapologetic about it with ourselves and with others. If there's somebody that you don't want to hang with, just say no, thank you. Right? And let's talk a little bit about that. Okay, so I think y'all understand where I'm coming from the food drink thing. If you're going to enjoy these things, enjoy them. Just enjoy them. All I'm asking you to do. Don't beat yourself up. Don't waste energy. Just enjoy these things and try new things too. I mean, why not? If there's a cookie style that you've been looking in, like, every year, like let's say at your aunt's house or something, and that cookie's there, it's been there for years, you've never taken the time to enjoy it, like go eat that cookie. And then I want you to tell me about it. And I want to hear about all these foods that you're enjoying and these experiences that you're enjoying that you haven't previously let yourself fully enjoy, because it's okay. And at the end of the day, your life, your health is not going to be made or broken in 60 days. It's not. Now, I'm not saying that you should conscientiously like sabotage your body and like do all the things that don't make it feel well. I'm just asking you to check in with your mind and check in with that narrative that you're telling yourself, that you've been telling yourself, that you cannot have these things, and just try them and see what happens. It feels kind of scary. I know this sounds maybe way, way out there. It's kind of scary to dip your toes into really enjoying things that we've been told for so many years are not good for us. It feels scary. I felt freaked out by it. And like I said, y'all, I'm 40 years old. I've been a health coach for a couple of years now, and I've always been kind of into health and wellness and all of that things. And like just now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to eat whatever. And I don't think twice about it. It is actually possible, but you got to take that first step and just eat the cookie and like let it go. Like you ate the cookie. That's cool. It's not going to ruin your life, right? And through trying these things that we don't normally try, we don't really allow ourselves to try, we really get to learn and grow. And it's freaking awesome, because at the bottom line of it, y'all, unless there's some really specific health things going on, generally speaking, the more fresh food that we eat, the less processed food that we eat, the little bit that we move our body every day, we drink water, like that's what leads up to a vibrant, sustainable life. What does not lead up to a vibrant, sustainable life is stressing yourself out over every single food choice. What does not lead to a vibrant, sustainable life is restricting yourself. And we can get to the science. I'm pretty sure I did a happy, healthy half hour on this before. I'll definitely do it again, but feel free to ask questions specifically about that. So you go do you. You go have that cookie. You go drink that eggnog, and then tell me about it, because I want to hold you accountable for enjoying yourself this holiday season. So let's now talk about, here's what's interesting. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been asking you guys to share with me what's on your mind, what's stressing you out. So I'm going to share some of those things, and then I want to share this interesting thread that I found weaved through these things. So one of them, I have them written down over here, so I'm just going to like take a little peek down here. So one thing that came up, and this is a powerful one, this is a real one, right, is dealing with COVID-related decisions and boundaries with family, right? And that kind of goes all the ways. You know, if we have a home where we feel more comfortable kind of bringing everybody in at this point in time, are people not going to want to come because they don't feel comfortable? Should everybody wear masks? Should we try to do this outside and get heaters depending where we live? A lot there, a lot that we need to just kind of navigate, right? Because we want everybody to feel comfortable and welcome at the end of the day. Another thing that came up is gifting. The person that responded said that they hate buying gifts that people don't like. And that's a worry for them. And I'm the same way. When I buy a gift, like, I really love to find that perfect gift. And I can sometimes drive myself a little bit mad doing it. But I'm going to talk about what I do differently now in relationship to that. That may feel a little bit freeing. Another thing that came up is making sure, and this came from a mom/grandma, making sure that all of her daughters and grandchildren feel equally loved and appreciated. Raise your hand if you have multiple children and have fallen into that space of, I need to make sure that they have equal gifts to open, that they have equal things, that this person has to have this, or I have to spend equal amounts on these people. Like, I know I'm not alone in this, right? Another thing that came up, and I thought this was a really great one too, is like the holiday music on repeat. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward to hearing that Mariah Carey song. I am. The first couple times I hear it, I am all in. I am all in. But in like 2 weeks, and that's all I hear, and I'm not hearing the cool new stuff that's coming out, yeah, it can make me feel a little bit stabby. So hearing that music on repeat can be kind of maddening, right? And then another thing that came up is organizing afterwards. So the way that I interpreted this is, you have the holidays, you have Christmas, you have people over, and it's kind of like organizing and cleaning up the mess afterwards. And if you're a family that has multiple kids, there could be wrapping paper, toys, things, clothes, and just sorting through all of that kind of stuff. And then another thing that I thought came up that was really, really great, that kind of touches back to what I was saying in the beginning, is like all the pressure to do all of these things, or to host these events, or to bring people together, as if we cannot do that any other time of the year. We put a lot of pressure to do all of that in these 2 months. And then also decorating. Decorating is a thing. I'm always like you let me know what you are. I'm always kind of like a after Thanksgiving type person, but these last couple of years, I think I just feel super excited to set up a Christmas tree. So I'm a little bit earlier, I think. Haven't done it yet. Still taking down a little bit of the the Halloween decorations, the pumpkins thing. So, but yeah, let me know if you're a after Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving holiday setter upper. So here's what I kind of threaded together as the common thread. Let's see if I can do this in a succinct way at this hour of the evening. So even as it comes to, this idea of restriction, of restricting what we eat or what we do or what we want to eat, telling ourselves no, not enjoying ourselves, that restriction, or that tendency of restriction often comes from a place of us feeling like we have to look a certain way for other people, for our society. And the pressure's there all over the place, man. I can speak from a woman's perspective, but our society has done a really great job of reinforcing that, success, value, all of that is tied to a specific size, a specific weight, a specific look. And frankly, it's effing bullshit. It's just not. But that's what we're told. So we have this like narrative wired into our brain, right? But that tendency to not want to eat or to restrict ourselves is tied in part to how we want to show up for others, right? And when I think about what some of you have shared, right? It's dealing with the COVID-related decisions there, hating to buy gifts that people don't like, making sure everybody feels equal and loved and all of these things. Organizing, making sure that our space looks nice. Pressure of inviting everybody over, and what if they say no? What if they say yes? What if I don't really want to do this in the first place, but I just feel like I have to? The thread that I'm seeing through all this is that it seems like during this time especially, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we are worrying a lot about what everybody else is thinking. We're worrying a lot about how everyone else is feeling. We're worrying a lot about, are we going to be perceived a certain way if we choose to do or not do something? That's a lot of pressure, like on an everyday basis, but man, does it really flare up during this time. And that's indicative based on the feedback that you guys shared. And again, feel free, comment down below, like what is stressing you out this holiday season so we can talk about it. So I want to go through, as we've identified this common thread of like, all right, so we kind of have this idea in our head that we have to do all these things within a 2-month span, right? We have Halloween, we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas. There's a number of other holidays in there. I'm just speaking to these because that's what my family celebrates. But I really want everyone to hear there's a huge variety of holidays that fall in this time or reasons for celebration. And then this other piece of like the pressure of what everybody else is thinking of us and us worrying about if we're getting the perfect gift, are we spending enough, are we not spending enough? And then like, let's talk about the aftermath too of like, holy crap, did I just spend more money than I should have? Let's take a deep breath. Here's the reality. And it ties into everything that I always share with you guys. So I really want you to hear it. Like look right in the camera. That's like my new thing, I feel like now virtually, because I love looking people in the eyes when I really want them to hear something. I really want you to hear it. So I hope my eyes are like staring you in the eyes. Sorry, that's probably a little bit creepy here. I want to propose a more radical approach to this holiday season. An approach that goes against what we've been told the holidays are about. And I know we talk about like, oh, commercialization of Christmas and all of that. It's not about that. But like, let's really talk about that for a second, okay? Because we bitch about it. I can't tell you how many conversations I've gotten, and even like mom and I have been talking about this. It's like, what do we want to do this year for the girls? Because, and I think they may be watching, but let me just say this. Hopefully they're not watching, because I know mom's watching, so maybe you can make sure they're not watching right now. I want to focus more on experiences. These things that we buy, these toys that they want, and think about our own experiences. Like things are really nice, right? I like things. I like buying nice things. But the experiences are what we remember. I can remember a handful of toys of growing up that I got. But I remember the experiences that I had with my family. And not all of them were vacations or anything lavish, So think about that as you go into this gifting season, right? And here's what's really cool too about like the whole experience thing. You can like handwrite up a coupon, put that in a box, everybody opens it, super excited, and you're done. You don't even have to like plan that right now. What? I just bought you more time, y'all. That's what I'm planning on doing at least. Now, the other piece here too, worrying about if we're buying the right gifts for people or how many gifts to buy or I some practical different things. I really love this idea that it seems like more people are turning towards like the white elephants or the especially in larger families, like the Secret Santa type thing. It's one gift for one person, makes it super easy, lots of pressure off the shoulders, and it becomes more about just being around people and having fun with them. The other piece that I just want to remind everybody is that our time is a I was going to say the F word again, is really, really, really precious. Your time is really, really, really precious. And anytime you choose to spend your time with anyone other than yourself, right? So, moms out there, let's say that you have time, kids are taken care of, and you can choose to just be by yourself and nourish yourself, but you choose to spend time with a friend. There is a huge value attached to that, right? Because we're already all running so quickly. But whenever we choose to spend time with somebody, that is sacred. That is a gift, the gift of presence, not to be cheesy, but the gift of presence is powerful. Let's start recognizing that. Let's start recognizing just showing up and being with somebody is really, really a beautiful, rare thing in this world. And it's something that we've had taken away from us. We're starting to get back to, which is amazing. But no, that's a really big gift. So while it can feel scary to step out and just be like, you know what, this year, y'all, family, we're just going to celebrate together. We're just going to be together and let the gift giving happen organically throughout the year. What about that? I don't know. That's kind of what I've started to adopt. Nobody has complained about it. Honestly, it's like if I see something in the store, and some of you watching have done this for me, and I freaking love it. But you're shopping in the store and you see something that reminds you of somebody, and you just buy it for them and give it to them out of a surprise. It's freaking awesome. And it relieves so much pressure off of the rest of this holiday time where it's like, let me buy all the gifts for all the people. And legit, y'all, I don't want any gifts. When I say that, I mean it wholeheartedly. Because if you're watching this, and if you're somebody that's in my life, like that truly like is a gift. And I'm not saying that to be like a pretentious douchebag, right? Because it could sound like, oh yeah, I don't want a gift. I love surprises. I love gifts. But I don't need them at this time of the year. If I have you, honestly, I'm cool with that. And I think that's something that's come with age as well, right? Because I realize like I'm pretty happy with myself. So I just want to add to that with like real human presence right here with me. I love it. I love it. Okay. Sorry, kind of trailed off on there. So let me go back really quick. Your time is very valuable. That is a present in itself, number one. And the other thing was saying it's okay to do holidays differently and not have it be about the gifts. Maybe think of different experiences that you can offer people, and experiences are 100% something that is tied to spending time with them, right? Because that's the value, that's the narrative we're trying to change. So join me with that. Test the waters a little bit with people you feel safe, and then just jump into it next year. But I promise you, nobody's going to bitch. And if somebody really gets their panties in a wad over it, like that you didn't get them a gift, I don't know, man. I struggle. I really, really struggle with it because you can get gifts for people any time of the year. It doesn't all have to be at Christmas time. So let's join me in changing this narrative and having the holidays be more about our human presence versus physical presence. So the other pieces that I want to talk about is, and I think while this person reached out talking about COVID related decisions and boundaries with family, I think we can talk about boundaries with family just in general around the holidays, and also boundaries with friends. This is a real thing, right? We're getting the invites. Come hang, come do this, come do that. Something that I've been practicing, because I'm in a space right now where I'm really feeling like I need to be kind of like inwardly looking. It's not that I don't want to see people, because I do. I love seeing people, but I'm just kind of feeling like really having a deep need to just honor having some time by myself, being low key, spending time with family. I was getting really stressed with just like booking up, like coffee and things and all these different things to chat and meet with people. And what I'm really longing for is just to have the space and time to let things just organically happen. Gosh, I am craving that, y'all. But the way that I'm booked myself right now, if somebody were to call and be like, hey, Linz, do you want to go out for drinks tonight? I would be like, man, I'm tired. I can't do it. And that person would be totally fine with it. But it's okay to say no. And it's also okay when somebody says no to you. It can be uncomfortable. You know, I'm a people pleaser or a recovering people pleaser. Still am. I know many of us watching out there are. But if somebody says no to you, they're just saying no because it's not right for them. It's not a reflection on you. Not at all. You know, it's the same with, I've had this conversation with my friends. In fact, I had one with one of my dear friends earlier today, just kind of telling her where I was at, getting caught up. And she asked me if I wanted, she was like, oh, give me a call. Like, let's talk about it. I want to hear what's going on. And I just responded, and it was hard to, but I did. I was just like, you know, I don't think I want to talk about it right now. And she's like, whenever you feel ready, I'm here. And I'm like, I love it. That's great. So just test that out and just know if somebody says no, it's not a reflection on you or who you are. It's just not right for them. Let it be, let it go, let them do their life. It's all good, all good. And also setting those boundaries, making sure that you're saying no to things that don't light you up. Like if you get an invite and it's going to stress you the fuck out to go, I just said the F word there straight up. Don't. Just say no, thank you. Or say, I would love to be there, but I don't have the capacity to be able to show up in the way that I would want to. Normalize that response. Don't give an excuse that's not true, because that always comes back in bad karma. If you say your kid's sick and they're not really sick, that your kid's going to get sick at a time where it's inconvenient for them to be sick. I promise you. So just say no. I just can't show up the way I want to. But I love you, and I'll see you soon. Plan something for January or February. Like seriously, we don't have to see all the people in 2 months. Making sure that everybody feels appreciated with the gifts, right? We can bend our minds trying to find the perfect gifts, but sometimes they just strike and we're like, oh, that's perfect by any time of the year. And truly coming back to your presence is enough. Physical presence. I'm trying to think how to say this because I've been thinking about it a lot. Physical presence, almost like a Band-Aid, right? I mean, very similar in the way, like if we look at our relationship to sugar, you know, in kind of an addictive way, or our phones, social media, things like that. Physical presence can kind of offer that same dopamine hit, right? So I want to encourage you, if you want to get somebody a gift, don't just get them a gift because you feel like you have to. Get them a gift because you feel like you want to. And also know 100% the most important gift that you can give, the most nourishing gift that you can give is you. And maybe even start to explore making something for someone if that's your thing. I know a tradition that my mom started that I think is really cool is that she gets all of us an ornament, depending on like what we're into that year or something that speaks to her. And that's just a really cool, thoughtful gift that you can add to the tree each year. So think out of the box and please, please reach out if you need some ideas or just want to like talk through things. Like, let's talk through them because you're not alone in this. You're not the only one feeling a certain way about the holidays, I promise you. The holiday music on repeat. Take the time to make playlists. I can't tell you how awesome that is, man. Make a playlist of music that makes you feel great around the holidays. And maybe there's a couple classics in there, maybe there's not, but just put your playlist on repeat. And something that I have found that has been super joyful that Mike and I do is that we just started making a playlist. So we have now this playlist that we've been working on for almost 2 years that has like, I don't know, like 10 hours of music or something crazy, but it's great to come back to and just kind of like put on shuffle and not think about it. Because it can get crazy having that holiday music on repeats. And then as it comes to organizing afterwards, I think this is something that speaks to, we have this tendency in our country to rush things. Things need to be done immediately. They need to be organized immediately. We need to work more hours. We need to do all the things. We have to check off all the tasks. At the end of the day, we have to get our bodies in a way that feels great for us. That is our body's happy place in 30 days, right? 60 days. Fact of the matter is, we have more time on this earth than we have convinced ourselves that we do. And we have more time on this earth than we've been told to believe is true. So as I share this information with you, and I struggle with it, man, because I am an organizer. Shoot, after the holidays, I'm just like, I know Barb is feeling me out there. I'm just like, let's put everything away. But you want to just sit in the mess. Just sit in the mess. It's not going anywhere. We have time to clean it up, right? And I know, different people like different levels of organization and stuff, but again, coming back to just being present with each other, watching those gifts unfold, or just playing a game together, maybe a board game or something like that. Like, just kind of be in the moment. Everything will be there when it's ready, right? We also don't have to take turn or freeze the day after Christmas. Like, just when it feels good and right, you do it. Try not to do things that add more stress to your life this holiday season, please. And I think to kind of like put a little bow on it, is we're a couple minutes over. I just want to remind you, like, challenge yourself in a different way this holiday season. And take a step, take a deep breath, and really like listen. Listen to your gut. Listen to what feels good. Pay attention to things where you're like, I am feeling stressed out. I am feeling stressed out. And just pause there with that for a moment. Take some deep breaths to bring your brain back into the more logical part. And just think about why it feels stressed out. And if you feel stressed out, why are you doing it? And if the response is because I have to do it, because it's the holidays, and I have to get gifts, and I have to get this done, and I have to get the turkey, and I have to blah, 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 everybody has to come over here, it has to be perfect. Take a deep breath again. And ask yourself, does it really need to be done? Is doing this thing that is causing you mass stress going to really impact your life down the road? Or does it just feel like it's going to impact it really big right now? Think about it. There's a lot of freedom in doing things differently. There's a lot of freedom and a lot of discomfort, truthfully, of rewiring old patterns that have served us, that maybe don't serve us anymore. So just explore that, right? And I just deeply, deeply, deeply want to remind you, in addition to like having the freaking cookie, drinking the eggnog, having your glass of wine, eating foods that you've decided you cannot eat or are bad for us, take a deep breath, let it go, enjoy it. Enjoy every single crumb of that. Lick your plate if you want to. I know there's a couple things that I definitely lick my plate for, and I don't care. So I encourage you to do that. But also step into not planning things. Step into this idea of really placing the value on yourself in this equation. That feels uncomfortable, right? Maybe we buy gifts because we feel like we're not enough. But we are enough. So let's not only change the narrative for ourselves, let's encourage our families to do that. And ultimately what we're doing, y'all, is we're creating generational change that will be based on the exchange of human experiences together, presentness instead of presence. And that to me sounds like a world that we need more of, y'all. We need more of that connectedness. So from me to you, your families, all of that, and I want to encourage you, if you're feeling stressed out, just pause, sit with it. Please, please, please. You aren't alone just with everything. Reach out to me. Let's talk about it. There's no strings attached or anything creepy. Like, please give me the opportunity to help you better enjoy these holidays. Because while we do have longer on earth than we convince ourselves of, we also don't have an unlimited time on earth. So let's slow down. Let's enjoy the time that we do have with the people that we do have. And just to remind you, you in itself, as you are, all of you are the best present that you could possibly share with anyone. So keep that in mind. I love you guys so much. Have an amazing holiday. We'll see you for 2 more happy, healthy holidays before the end of the year. So stay tuned. Make sure to join in. Very, very exciting stuff. But in the meantime, slow down, enjoy yourself. Everything will be okay. There's nothing wrong with trying something new. And thank you for being you just as you are. Love you guys.